to see that, and I would tell you it may even enhance.
And it's true, activists are taking inspiration from each other and coordinating. Stephanie Graybill is at the Lancaster camp with her 2 daughters. She runs the kitchen. She also protested at Standing Rock and knows 6 people who are making their way out to Pennsylvania.
I think Standing Rock's the playbook for camps like ours, because we're tired of government pushing us around. They're supposed to be working for us, not working against us.
As the camp continues to grow, the pipeline company has failed to get permission from dozens of property owners. It's now taking them to court.
In Georgia, there's a lot of political pushback against taking private land for these projects. I'm Molly Samuel from WABE in Atlanta. Right now, there's a moratorium on new petroleum pipelines while the state legislature debates the laws around pipelines and eminent domain.
That threat of losing land with no recourse is something that can keep a landowner awake at night.
Andres Villegas is the president of the Georgia Forestry Association. Tree farming is a big business here. It's even older than the state.
Forestry and land ownership that comes with it has been woven into the fabric of Georgia since the time of the colonization of the state. It's been a central part of the economy. It's been a central part of the culture.
There are people here whose families have been on the same land since the 1700s. So it wasn't just environmental activists who got up in arms when a company proposed building a pipeline along the coast in 2015. Opponents had powerful allies from the business world and in politics from both sides of the aisle.
You know, I'm a Republican from a Republican area.
State Representative Bill Hitchens proposed that moratorium on new petroleum pipelines.
I may very well have had more Democratic votes because it affects everybody.
The pipeline was shelved. South Carolina has a moratorium in place, too, over the same pipeline. Hitchens says he's pro-business, and he understands if you have to lose private property for something that serves the public, like a road.
But I think people look at it a little differently when you lose it so somebody else can make some money off of it.
There's another pipeline, though, that Georgia lawmakers couldn't block. The federal government granted the Sable Trail Pipeline permission to use eminent domain along its route through Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. It's being built now, though people are setting up Standing Rock-like camps in protest.
That's Molly Samuel in Georgia, and NPR's Jeff Brady is still on the line with us. Jeff, President Trump has signed several executive actions designed to speed up the approval process for new pipelines. Where do you expect this debate to head next?
I think we should expect more confrontations around the country because on one side, you have an industry that now has an ally in the White House. They're very optimistic. And on the other side, you have pipeline opponents who've experienced some success, and they're not ready to give up just because there's a new administration in the White House.
That's NPR's Jeff Brady. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Ari.
Did you notice how at the beginning of the report, they talked about environmental groups being behind the protest? No. Okay? That's just like them trying to claim that organized groups are behind the town hall protests. Okay? They didn't even mention the Native Americans, 500 different tribes that got together to try to stop that ridiculous dirty oil pipeline at Standing Rock that puts 18 million Americans of all creeds, colors, and religions, all of their water at risk by putting a dirty oil, high-pressure pipeline, shoving 20 million gallons per day of dirty oil underneath the precious and holy waters, by the way, to the Native Americans, of the Little Missouri and Missouri River at Cannonball. So, you know, it's not environmental groups. It's called people, real individual people that don't want these ridiculous permanent pieces of dirty infrastructure for extractor companies that are subsidized by hundreds of billions of dollars over the years by the U.S. government so that foreign oil interests primarily can profit and put all of us at risk. Not to mention the dangers from exploding pipelines, of which there have been thousands of explosions, deadly explosions causing damage as well to property, business, homes, injuries, and billions of dollars in damage. Not to mention the permanent tainting of our water supplies and land. I'll just leave it there for right now. Go online and search the Sabal Trail Pipeline. That's S-A-B-A-L Trail Pipeline, KXL, Keystone Pipeline, the Dakota Access Pipeline. Just type in oil spills United States and read about how ridiculously dangerous these things are. And that's as an alternative, by the way, to these hundreds of thousands of tankers that already ply America's highways, shipping dirty oil from coast to coast. And by the way, those trucks, like the one I passed a little bit earlier today, just spewing massive quantities of unfiltered pollutants all throughout America's countryside. Good luck.